We are now joined by Channel 8 News reporter Alyssa Lally to give us an insight into how the Kansas elections are being perceived in Washington. Alyssa?
We're joined here with Steve Chagares from CBS News. You've said before that Democrats may have a problem being linked to Obama. Do you see that playing out here in Kansas? What do you think is the significance of that question?
Well, it's been a national issue for Senate candidates around the country, and if you look at any of the close races where Republicans are challenging Democratic-held seats, you're seeing that issue sort of play out in all those places. Kansas is an interesting situation in that you have an incumbent Republican who's in trouble, Senator Pat Roberts, running against an independent who hasn't been very clear about where he is going to stand if he gets elected, whether he's going to vote with the Republicans or the Democrats. So it's really been difficult to sort of nail down where Greg Orman, the independent, stands. However, Roberts, for his part, has been trying to tie Orman to Obama and the Democrats, and it's very clear that that's the strategy that the Roberts folks have taken.
So do you think that, because Greg Orman's had ties with both parties, do you think Kansas people know that, or do you think that's important to them, or do you think Pat Roberts is using it in his arsenal to kind of shut people down?
I think it's the latter. I mean, look at Kansas and Kansas's voting history. It's a very Republican state. Kansas voted for Mitt Romney by 22 points in 2012. It's not a place where anybody thinks that Democrats are going to have an easy time getting elected, although Democrats have been elected statewide in the recent past. It's still very difficult for Democrats to get elected, and so I think the Roberts folks are banking on that fact and are trying to tie Orman, say that his past as a Democrat, the fact that he's received money and support from some Democratic-tied organizations such as the AFL-CIO, and some of Orman's positions are to the left of where Roberts and the Republican Party are. I think they're banking on that to speak to Kansas voters and get them to vote for Roberts.
And one final question, what if we have a divided state? What if we have the independents and the Republican vote in the Senate?
Hearing you.
One last question. If the vote gets split, what can that look like in Washington?
If the vote is split, mean between if Orman wins,
Mm-hmm.
and what? Okay, so it could come down to Orman being the final decision maker in terms of where he's going to who he's going to caucus with, and so he said that he's going to caucus with the majority. Now, if it's up to Orman, he's going to be the guy that everybody's going to be talking to over the last 8 weeks and going into January. You're going to see a lot. He'll be probably the most influential guy in Washington, having not set foot in the Capitol yet, as he tries to figure out who he's going to caucus with.
Well, thank you so much for being with us, Steve. That's all we have today.